Hello children, welcome to the social science class. Today you are going to learn a new topic in history on the trial of the earliest people. Children, do you remember studying about history in chapter 1? Tell me, what is history? History is a study of the events that happened in the past. Yes, very good. Today we are going to learn the story of early man. Are you all ready for a story? Come, let's learn the story of early people. The story of early man began 12,000 years ago. Yes, 12,000 years ago. Archaeologists divide this period into three. That is, the Paleolithic age, which is the Old Stone Age, which is a very long span of time. From 2 million years ago to about 12,000 years ago. Actually, 99% of human history is in this period. The next is the Mesolithic age or the Middle Stone Age. It was just a transaction period. It is between 12,000 years ago to 10,000 years ago. And the third one is the Neolithic period, which means the New Stone Age. It just began 10,000 years ago. Now let's explore the life of early man. Are you all ready? Children, just close your eyes and imagine how an early man looked like. Can you see him? Is he like us? Wearing modern clothes, having a mobile phone and walking around? Traveling in car? Eating pizzas and burger? No, right? He was not just like us. He was something totally different. The early men were hunters and gatherers. He ate whatever was available. He just caught the animals and ate the raw flesh of them. He went around. He collected fruits, nuts, seeds, even eggs. Do you think it was an easy life? No, not at all. It was not easy. Running behind the animals which was stronger than him and which was faster was not easy. Selecting which plant is edible, which is poisonous was not easy. All this required a lot of alertness, quickness and presence of mind. He had a lot of skills. Do we have such skills? It is something to think about, right? Now, what was he wearing? He wore skin of the animals and leaves to keep himself warm from the cold climate. Children, do you think that early men moved from one place to another? Yes, of course they did. They walked around. But why? Why did they move? Because if he was staying in one place, he might have eaten up all the food available there. So he had to move. He had to move in search of food to new places. Then, the animals also need food. So they were going to one place to another in search of grass or small animals. So human beings also went behind them to hunt them. Third is, he went in search of seasonal fruits. You know that fruits are seasonal. So he went in search of seasonal fruits. Then water. Of course, water is the most essential thing. Men or even animals or birds or plants cannot live without water. Some rivers were perennial, there were plenty of water, but some rivers dried up in summer. So he had to move from one place to another in search of water. So for all these reasons, early man moved from one place to another. Don't you think that they also went to meet their friends and relatives? Don't we go? Of course, they also went to meet their friends and relatives. They walked along. How long can you walk? Do you go to school by walking? Maybe a little, right? So, it is also something to think about. But from where do we get all these informations from? Yes, through archaeological evidences. Archaeologists have found a lot of information all over Indian subcontinent about the early man, especially the tools they used. Early men used tools. They used tools made up of bones, wood and stone. The early man used stone tools for cutting the flesh and bones of the animals, for scraping the bark of the trees and also chopping the fruits. For this, he used two main techniques. The first technique was the stone on stone technique and the next one was pressure flaking. Now I'll show you how he used the stone on stone technique. The stone from which the tool was made was kept firmly on one hand and the hammer stone was held on other hand, and he struck it so hardly that flakes were removed and the coarse stone turned into a beautiful fine tool. The next technique was the pressure flaking. That is, the coarse stone was placed firmly on a surface and the hammer stone was used to strike and remove the flakes. This technique is called the pressure flaking. These are the two techniques used by the early man to make the tools. Fine quality stones were found there, so they used this place to make the stone tools. Such a site was called factory site. The area where the early man lived was called habitation site. Sometimes what early man did was he just went and stayed where he made the tools. So such sites were called habitation cum factory sites. So what are the three sites? Habitation sites, factory sites and habitation cum factory sites. There were many Paleolithic sites discovered by archaeologists in India. Some of the very important sites are Bhimbetka in the center part of India, the Kurnool caves and the Hungsi. In the southern part of India where many early stone tools were discovered. Children, now you learned about the early men. They were hunter-gatherers. They moved around, they hunted, they lived in forests, they went in search of food, etc. All this happened 2 million years ago. Slowly there was changes that was happening around the world, also in India. Here comes one of the most important discoveries of human beings. Can you guess what it was? Mobile phone? TV? Steam engine? No, it was the fire. The fire was discovered 1 million years ago. Maybe he accidentally found it because of the forest fire and he ate the animals which died in the fire and it was so tasty. That's how early man started to learn cooking. Then he found out how to make fire. I'll just show you how early man made fire. He took 2 good quality stones and rubbed them so vigorously so that spark came out of that, and thus was the discovery of fire done. How he was walking around, what he ate, how he hunted and how he gathered, and also the important sites in India where the early man lived. Hope you all understood the topic. Hope it was interesting to you. Shall I give you an activity? Are you all ready? Okay. Just make a list of food items that you eat today and the food which the early men were eating, and just make a comparative study. Just do it. Thank you.